Back here as we continue, Let Me Live on KUWB Radio Morning Show. I'm David Settle. My pleasure to welcome in studio, taking some of his own personal time to come out and visit with me, is our current sheriff, Dave O'Malley. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, David. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate it. First of all, tell me, running for what, this third term? Is this the third term now?
This will be my third term.
Wow.
That's correct, yes. So,
what keeps you going, I guess? What keeps the ticker on rolling here for being our county sheriff here in Albany County?
Well, I've been in law enforcement for 40 years now, and my career with the sheriff's office has been one that has been the highlight of my life. Career-wise, we've got a staff that's phenomenal. They work well with all the other agencies within the Albany County and the state, and it's been a great pleasure for me to be able to serve with them.
So now you're running for re-election for your third term, as we just mentioned. How's the campaign trail kind of treated you this time around, would you say?
You know, it's been different, and it's been fraught with misinformation and my opinion, lies.
Okay.
And I think it's time that I allow people to realize that it's just that. And to try to clarify some of the misinformation that has been brought forward by my opponent.
Yeah, I talked with your opponent earlier this week on the program, and he did bring some pretty big, I guess, allegations in terms of misappropriation and misuse of funds. And what is your response to that, Sheriff O'Malley?
Well, it's totally untrue. For one thing, our agency does more with less than any agency I've ever been involved with. His statements about our jet skis were totally erroneous. We don't have jet skis. We have, during the last 8 years, worked extremely hard on upgrading our equipment, a rescue boat, snow machines, side-by-side with tracks for quick response, a snowcat, things that were necessary for search and rescue operations, which the sheriff is responsible for in the state of Wyoming. Those items were purchased through our dedication to the SLIP board, the State Loan and Investment Board.
Okay.
Had a good relationship with that group. We funded $165,000 for a snowcat through a SLIP grant.
Okay.
Most of our other equipment has been procured through Forest Reserve funds, which is called Title III monies.
Okay.
Side by side, the tracks, the snow machines, ATVs have all been purchased with those funds that come through annually.
He also talked about misuse in terms of using the government vehicle, the county vehicle, I should say, for your own personal use and things like that. How do you respond to some of those criticisms and allegations?
You know, in some regard, it depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
I don't use it for personal use, but if I'm on my way home and I pick up my uniforms at the cleaners, I do that.
Okay.
If I'm on my way home and I stop at Safeway, I will do that. If I go to a doctor's appointment that's on duty during my work hours, I will drive the vehicle to and from there. But as far as running errands for my wife, which was alleged during the League of Women Voters forum, that's not correct. He also made the statement that it was a $70,000 Tahoe. That's not anywhere close to that. It's less than half of that. So that is not true.
Yeah. So why did you wait to respond to these? Why not kind of cut them off at the pass maybe earlier so that people don't get that perception of maybe a misuse of funds? Because, and the only reason I bring that up, Sheriff O'Malley, is just because I can remember not too long ago we had another county official that got caught with kind of a misuse and appropriation of some funds.
Well, and it's my opinion that Kim Hale running against me is a vendetta that's related to that.
Okay.
I did my ethical and professional duty in requesting the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation to investigate allegations, misappropriations of property with former County Attorney Richard Bowling. Mr. Hale and Mr. Bowling were good friends, and a lot of that has come out of this.
Okay. He also talked about a trespassing issue and not being able to respond to citizens.
Right.
What is your response in that regard?
As I recall, it was a trespasser that brandished a firearm. We don't know the name of who that was. We don't know when it occurred. And to rebut that, I would challenge Mr. Hale to bring this person forward to meet with the deputies so we can try to see what occurred in that particular situation, if it occurred at all.
visiting with Sheriff Dave O'Malley, running for re-election here in 2018 as we continue with Laramie Live on KWB Radio Morning Show. So you've served 2 terms. You talked about, doing more with less in terms, and I think a lot of folks in our listening audience are probably aware of just the crunch of funds within Albany County, one of the poorest counties in the state. Are there things that you would like to see and go about changing here in your 3rd term, Dave?
We've worked towards that during the past 8 years, and our county commissioners have been extremely supportive of our office in that regard. There's been some recent wind energy projects coming to fruition in Albany County, which is bringing additional revenue into the county. And as a result of that, we were able to hire 4 additional deputies. 2 will be placed in the detention center and 2 in the patrol division. That's one of the things I've been harping about is that you can't get people if you don't have the money.
Right.
The commissioners have come forward in supporting us with that, so that's an effort that we're really working towards. One of our biggest issues right now is the opioid crisis, epidemic, if you will, methamphetamine issues. My deputies are extremely proactive, and we're combining education and enforcement and trying to make a dent in that issue.
Okay. Anything else that you kind of have on your agenda or your platform here, running for a 3rd time, that you would like to see move forward or gain some pretty good progress in this 3rd term? Yeah,
one of the biggest issues we have is there is some extreme disparity in salaries between our deputies and the other law enforcement agencies within the community. We're trying to close some of that through working with human resources and the county commissioners to institute a step and grade program, which would have right now a deputy tops out in 1 year.
Oh, okay.
So if there isn't a cost of living increase that's granted, you have a guy that's been here 10 years making the same amount of money as somebody that's been here for 2 years. And so if we can get a step and grade program, that may well help with longevity.
Talking with Sheriff Dave O'Malley, running for re-election for Albany County Sheriff here in 2018. Of course, we're inside of a week away from the general election coming up next Tuesday. Early voting is underway. You can get absentee ballots, or you can just go to the polls next Tuesday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. How do you feel your office has done in responding? This is a pretty good-sized county here, and you talked about you have hired some new deputies, but it can be tough to crisscross a county like this. So how do you feel that your group has done here in your last 4 years in particular?
I think they do an extremely good job of responding in a county that's 4,300 square miles. The realities is that your backup can be an hour away or more. We've worked extremely close with Platte County Sheriff Clyde Harris, Converse County Sheriff Clint Becker in memorandums of understanding because, quite frankly, the Hubbard's covered area is closer to Douglas than it is to Laramie.
True.
So when we have emergency situations, Sheriff Becker doesn't hesitate to respond his deputies into our county to assist, and we reciprocate the other way around.
I would assume maybe kind of similar with Carbon County to the west when you get into the mountainous areas west of here in the Sunny Range.
Sheriff Archie Roybal is on board with us, as is Jackson County in Colorado,
right,
and Larimer County.
So, anything else before I let you go in terms of things you want to get out to the voters here? Kind of a final message to try and win re-election next Tuesday.
What I would say is that my opponent has absolutely no experience in law enforcement whatsoever. He has no experience in personnel management at this level, budget management at this level, grant writing at this level, things that are necessary to have in order to be an effective administration within this organization. My successes over the years haven't been due to politics, as was alleged. You don't work 40 years in this business due to politics. You do it because you do your job well, and you do it because you're sincere in the way that you respond to the people. You treat people with dignity and respect. And I think that the reason that I've had any successes in my life are because of the men and women that I work next to in this profession.
Well, with that, we'll put a cap on it. I greatly appreciate your time today, and good luck next Tuesday.
Thank you, Dave.